one thing that every individual has but is different for each one of them: the adaptive immune system. Hi, my name is Verma, and today I will model the adaptive immune system to explain its main structures and primary functions. Using this model, I will show how the Ebola virus disease interacts with the immune system and why it became an epidemic in West Africa. Vaccinations are a key part to strengthening the adaptive immune system, and I will demonstrate this through my model. So what is the adaptive immune system and what does it do? First of all, let's start with describing the special features of the adaptive immune system. The first particular feature is specificity, like the lock and key model. Antibodies are produced for particular antigens. The second feature is immunological memory. This is when the immune system first encounters a pathogen, leading to memory cells being formed that are able to recognize the same pathogen when it comes next time. This allows the immune system to respond faster and earlier. Immunological memory can also prevent the disease from occurring again or reduce its severity and longevity. The two responses of the adaptive immune system are the humoral response and the cell-mediated response. Both responses require either B lymphocyte or T lymphocyte cells. They are special white cells. Humoral response aims to inactivate pathogens. It consists of the activation phase and the effector phase.
In the activation phase, a macrophage from the innate immune system engulfs the pathogen, then is processed inside the macrophage. The pathogen is broken down into antigens. An antigen then combines with a class II MHC protein. This combination is displayed on the outside of the macrophage called antigen presentation. A helper T cell uses its T cell receptors to combine with the antigen presented by the macrophage. The cytokine interleukin-1 is released by the macrophage to activate the T helper cell. The T helper cell proliferates by releasing cytokines towards itself. This forms many more T cells. Next is the effector phase, which requires the B lymphocyte cell. The B cell uses its IgM antibody receptor to bind to the antigen. This forms the antigen-antibody complex. The antigen is then processed inside the B cell and displayed on an MHC molecule on the surface of the B cell. The T helper cell from the activation phase binds to the class II MHC on the B cell and releases cytokines. This stimulates the B cell to proliferate. Some B cells become plasma cells or effector cells that produce and secrete antibodies, and some B cells form memory cells that remember the pathogen and aid in increasing the efficacy of the immune system next time the pathogen attacks. The cell-mediated response is responsible for the elimination of pathogens located inside the host cell, intracellular pathogens. This is because a humoral response cannot access these pathogens. In the activation phase, an antigen, for example a virus, infects a body cell and replicates itself using the cell's mechanisms. Some viral proteins are broken down and combined with the class I MHC protein to be presented on the cell surface. A cytotoxic T cell that is specific for this antigen binds to the antigen and the MHC molecule complex. Next, the cytotoxic T cell becomes activated and multiplies with the same specificity. In the effector phase, the cytotoxic T cell from the activation phase binds to the infected cell and releases perforin. The perforin goes inside the cell, which causes the infected cell to perforate and die.
Ebola virus disease. This virus caused an epidemic, but why? Ebola virus is very aggressive, however it's not actually what kills the individual. It leads the individual's own immune system to attack itself.
When the virus first enters the body, dendritic cells are responsible for containing it and triggering an immune response to kill the pathogen. However, when the Ebola virus enters the body, it infects the immune cells like dendritic cells and attacks T cells, which are vital to stopping the virus. The virus shuts off the alert system for dendritic cells, means that it can't alert an immune system response. At this point, the virus multiplies rapidly. The virus is spread everywhere in the body and infects many organs. At this point, a major immune system response is triggered where the immune system attacks everything. The blood contents released after the premature death of cells is what triggers a cytokine storm. A cytokine storm is when there is an overproduction of the immune cells and cytokines. This cytokine storm attacks many organs and blood vessels. At this point, the body is destroying itself. This aggressive and intelligent nature of the virus has led EVD to be so effective when destroying an individual. This led to an epidemic with a huge number of deaths.
Currently, there are no vaccinations for the Ebola virus.
A vaccination is an artificially acquired active immunity where a dead or extremely weakened state of the pathogen is infected into the body. Because the pathogen is dead or weak, the body is easily able to fight it off without showing any symptoms. While the body fights off the pathogen, it develops memory cells so that next time when the real stronger version of the pathogen infects the body can produce antibodies more rapidly and kill off the pathogen quicker. This artificial immunity and memory cells can reduce the severity of pathogens and reduce the response times to attack the pathogen.